Hello lovelies, I'm Indi from Indi Pole, and today I'm going to lead you through a pirouette tutorial. To get the best pirouettes, we have to understand how our shoe interacts with the floor and the friction that can create. In order to pirouette, what we want is to shift the weight more towards the front of the shoe. That takes the weight off the stiletto and brings a smaller area of the shoe in contact with the floor, which reduces the friction. We do not need to be way up here. We just need the smallest amount of lift so that the weight is coming down underneath the ball of the foot, so through here, rather than through the heel. And as long as we can achieve that, we're going to have smooth pirouettes. Now, how do we achieve that shift of weight to the front of the shoe? We achieve that through really active legs. You're pushing the ball of the foot and the toes into your shoe, and that shifts the weight to the front and reduces the friction. Let's talk about the hands in a pirouette. So in the pirouette, the top hand is doing what we call a wrist roll, and the bottom hand is our slide and push hand. Placement of the hands and what they do during the pirouette is really critical to ensuring you can complete the movement smoothly and don't block yourself by gripping too hard. So with the top hand, you want to open the fingers and make almost like as if you were going to shake someone's hand, this shape here. You will make a window with your elbow and you'll pass through the window. So your hand should be just above your head, just enough room to pass through, but not any higher. Your index finger, your pointer finger touches the pole. As you pass through the window, the back of the hand touches the pole, and then as you come back to the front, it's your pinky side. And when you get to the end, you'll reach up and re-grip the pole. So release the fingers, bring the hand down, make the window, pass through. When you get back to where you need to be, you re-grip. So that's the top hand. The bottom hand is slide and push. Open palm. Do not grab around the pole with the fingers. Even though it feels like it's going to help you, it's actually going to block your turn. So the bottom hand will come between your body and the pole, slide down, the top hand wrist roll, and the bottom hand, as you get to face the back, imagine you're slamming the door behind you and give the pole a push, and that will help you come around to the front. Make sure that this hand does not grip around the pole because that will block your turn. So you need to open this bottom hand and push. Similarly with the top hand, sometimes it can get a little bit lost. So you might end up bringing the hand around to the front or moving it around. But it's really important to understand that the hand is staying on the back side of the pole. So if I'm going to complete my pirouette, it's staying on the back side of the pole where it is and re-gripping at the end. Now, let's talk about the feet and the body positioning here. Distance-wise, you want just enough room that you can turn, but no more. If you try to do your pirouette standing too far from the pole, you are going to end up leaning, and that is going to put you off balance. The pirouette is done in one spot. So imagine someone is pulling you up by a string from the top of your head. You have to try to maintain that position during your pirouette. So foot positioning is very important. The first pirouette step we will do is the step around pirouette. So in this movement, you bring your weight immediately to your front leg, and remembering what we've learnt about friction and pivoting, we want to shift the weight to the front of the shoe. That means that front leg is fully engaged, quads are on, and we're in our demi-point. So push the ball of the foot and the toes into the shoe so that when you come onto that leg, your weight is already at the front of the shoe, not flat. Full engagement of the leg, shift the weight to the front of the shoe. Your inside leg is going to cross behind as you pivot, and you want your feet to be roughly equal distance from the pole. Remember, top hand wrist roll, bottom hand slide and push. I will show you again. Step on your outside foot. Nice and strong. Pivot. You can bend this leg, no problem. Wrist roll, top hand. Slide and push, bottom hand, and grow tall during your turn. So cross, pivot, push, and turn. It's really important when you're learning this move that you don't start to turn before you place the second foot. So you want to place the first foot, place the second foot, and then turn. So that is our step around pirouette. If you feel confident with that, you can now add a leg rotation. So now you'll be working with a single leg pirouette. Remember, we want to find our center and hold our center as we do the pirouette. So in this pirouette, your base leg is doing the same thing. So really strong engagement, really push the ball of the feet and the toes into the shoe, leg fully engaged. The inside leg is going to kick the bum. As you turn, slide and push, you bring the leg into this figure 4 shape. So the knee to the outside and the foot to the inside. Land and step. I'll show you again. Step onto that nice strong leg. Find your center, whole body lifted, kick your bum. As you pivot, bring the leg in front into this figure 4 shape. Continue turning under. Again, here we go. Step, kick the bum, turn under, find your figure 4, slide and push. Here we are. So make sure to do this on both sides to practice your pirouette evenly on both sides. So now that we've covered the step around pirouette and the leg rotation pirouette, I want to talk about some of the common challenges that you might find if you find that your pirouette's not quite working right. So the first is that we sink down instead of growing up tall. If we feel a little bit uncertain with our pirouette, it can cause us to kind of melt into the floor a little bit, but what we actually want to do is to be as tall and lifted as we can. So make sure you find your position, grow tall, really engage that base leg, and that's going to help smooth out your pirouette. The second issue that you might be having is that you're going off balance as you do the pirouette. There's usually a couple of reasons for this. The first reason can be that you are too far from the pole. If you're too far from the pole, when you go to turn, you'll have to lean in, and that's going to cause you to go off balance, and then the pirouette kind of tumbles. So make sure that you are at the right distance. So only just enough room for you to pass through, and that will help you stay centered. The other thing which is related to that is if you are relaxing your core and your upper body. You want always to think about being as tall as possible. Think about your ribs lifting away from your hips, and that's going to create tension in your abdomen, which is going to help you maintain that center. So lifted, chest proud, being pulled up from the top of your head. It's going to help smooth out those pirouettes. I hope this tutorial has helped you overcome some of the challenges of the pirouette. If you would like to deepen your heels practice, I invite you to come into the Indi Online Studio, which is our home for Slinky low flow heels. We have so much content for beginners, including the Slink Your Foundations program, which is a 3-month program to help you master your heels and find your slinky flow.